10 latest manga where the main character is a sage. Manga enthusiasts around the world have always been drawn to the genre's unique ability to transport them to new and exciting worlds. In recent years, the sage archetype has become increasingly popular in manga, capturing readers' imaginations with their immense wisdom, knowledge, and power. These sage protagonists possess a unique blend of intellectual and physical prowess, making them formidable and captivating characters. In this article, we'll be taking a closer look at the 10 latest manga where the main character is a sage, exploring their stories, strengths, and abilities. So, get ready to dive into these epic tales of adventure, power, and wisdom.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop.
Number 1. The Black Sage That Manipulates Shadows, or How I Was Exiled After They Were Done With Me Being the Stand-in for the Saint. Kaido, a court magician who has continued to create barriers to protect the country on behalf of the saint. However, as soon as the Crown Prince's favorite duke's daughter was appointed as the next saint, he was cursed to use only dark magic when he had no use, and was banished from the country. What's more, the country forced him to deal with the dragon that was mistakenly summoned. There is no choice but to start living as a pharmacist in the depths of the forest with the dragon. Number 2. Become a wise man by reincarnating in another world, and live as an adventurer is the strongest in another world. When Minato died in an unfortunate accident, he was reincarnated in a different world where magic was woefully underdeveloped. Superfluous magic circles, barely working attack magics. What's with these inefficient magic? By getting rid of the excesses in the magic circle, the destructive capabilities of the magic can be multiplied. Furthermore, he creates the flawless extreme magic by his own hands. With his boundless wisdom, Minato enhances magic beyond wonder. In no time, his magical powers and techniques outclass that anyone else's. In a world where magic was lost to the people, Minato is praised as an omnipotent wise man who controls all of the elements. The tale of a wise man commanding the lost magic with overwhelming power starts now. Number 3. The inferior grade strongest sage from the lowest villager to the world's strongest with ease. Who said the inferior job? Who cursed me as the weakest? Is the strongest occupation. The aim is just the strongest. 6 major occupations: magic, blacksmith. By repeating reincarnation, there was a great sage who became the strongest in the world in any occupational magic. However, he realizes that there is a limit to the strength of one occupational magic per life, and despairs. He was a wise man who was about to give up, but he was the only one who thought he couldn't use magic. Discovering that the inferior job is actually a versatile job, he reincarnates. In this way, the great sage who was reborn as a silences the inferior jobs and the people who make a fool of him, and becomes the strongest in the world. A different world battle fantasy of a man who pursues insatiable strength. Number 4. The Last Wizard of the Sword Emperor Academy. 10 years after a cataclysm nearly destroyed all life on the planet, magic prodigy Lag Logline is entrusted with the title of sage and given the task of preventing the world's destruction 1,000 years from now. However, when he awakens from his time-freezing spell, the world he finds is nothing like he remembers. Upon meeting a swordswoman named Cloud, Lag finds out that this world 1,000 years in the future doesn't know what magic is. After having his own magic mistaken for swordsmanship, Lag enrolls in the Imperial Sword Academy in order to unravel the mysteries of the world around him and fulfill his promise to save humanity. Number 5. I was abandoned right after I was born, but since I was a sage in my previous life, I can afford to live. Born to excellent parents, Ruse is abandoned shortly after being born due to a mismeasurement of magical aptitude. However, he was a super baby who had the memory and ability of his previous life where he was touted as a great sage, and was able to fly, not to mention conversation and walking. Adventuring with the sacred dragon familiar, Lindworm. Enjoy the life of a baby sage who becomes a person and enjoys freedom. Number 6. The executed sage who was reincarnated as a lick started an all-out war. The sage Dwight. He along with the hero defeated the demon lord who sank the world into darkness. However, they were falsely accused of becoming the next demon lords because of his power, and were thrown to the valley of the dead to die. But though his flesh has rotten away, he lives on as a skeleton because of his grudge against the world. Dwight has vowed to deny that wrong world, and with a power that surpasses even the demon king of the past, and also leading countless skeletons, he's going to start an all-out war. Number 7. The unsuccessful yet academically unparalleled sage at cheating S-rank sorcerer's post-rebirth adventurer log. After reincarnating in a different world, the great sage Ethel spent all of his life researching magic. However, he who had aimed to reach the summit of magic knew of the limits of his talents and fell into despair, thus closing the curtain to his lifetime. 400 years later, he reincarnated for the second time and enrolled in a magic academy using the sorcery and knowledge he acquired from his previous life. As if to sneer at the state of magic that had been in decline for the past 400 years, he easily invokes legendary class magic. With overwhelming power, the entire world will kneel before him. Number 8. The great sage who returned from another world wants to live quietly. Sato was reincarnated to the other world at the age of 15, becomes the great sage, and defeated the demon lord. Shortly after that, the door connecting the other world and the real world opens, and Sato returned to Japan with the power of the great sage. However, 19 years have passed in the real world. Sato, who was drifted away for so long, met his childhood friend Kanako, who's now a single mother. But it seems like there's someone who's targeting Kanako's life. A story of a slow-life wannabe great sage who came back from another world begins. Number 9. The Diary of a Sage Around 40 Living in Another World. The Diary of a Sage Around 40 Living in Another World Carefree Another World Teacher Life. An alternate version of the Around 40 Kenya no Isekai Seikatsu Nikki story with a different artist. Satoshi Asako was a player of the VR RPG Sword and Sorcery who defeated the evil god and died for his trouble. When he awoke again, he found himself in a strange unknown forest. Furthermore, he possessed his avatar's body and abilities. In other words, he was a cheat. Can a 40-year-old DT live peacefully in this world? Let his Isekai adventure begin. Number 10. I, a sage and hero in my previous lives, will live a simple life in my next. Used to be a hero, and before that a sage, Lex has reincarnated. Again, this time he just wants to be a normal adventurer. And that's it for our roundup of the 10 latest manga where the main character is a sage. We hope you enjoyed this article and found some new titles to add to your reading list. From the ancient world of magic and legends to the futuristic world of technology and artificial intelligence, these manga will take you on a thrilling journey with their sage protagonists. Let us know in the comments which one of these titles you're most excited to read, or if there are any other manga with sage protagonists that you would recommend.